The Grind Masters 2023 edition. All right, here we go, boys. We got Uncle Giff, we got Drano, we got Bam Bam, we have myself. Let's dive into the Masters 2023. Okay, Drew, you've watched more than anybody today. What is the number one topic that you saw today from the Masters Live? What's the number one thing that happened today?
It's gotta be the cat. It's gotta be Tiger Woods himself. What do we think? Does Tiger Woods A, make the cut, and is he even remotely in contention? What do we think?
And just to catch Dane and Giff up on what happened today, Tiger was interviewed and essentially said that he is eyeing the senior tour and that he essentially said 3 years, 2026, he's eyeing the senior tour. And his exact quote was he was asked, "Have you thought about this being your last Masters?" And he said, "Yes, I have. I don't know how many more I have in me," was his exact quote, just as some background. So, how do we feel about Tiger this week? Does he make the cut? Can he contend?
I'm going to kick it off. I love the GOAT, obviously. Always a huge fan. Can't speak to his actions off of the golf course, but I just don't think he has it in him this week. I think, he's going to have a rough first day, and then he's going to fall apart the second day. The right leg has got to be hurting a little bit as he walks, and I just don't think he's going to be able to make the cut. As much as I would love to see him, along with everyone else watching this thing, I just don't think he has it in him this year. Love him, though.
I have to respectfully disagree with that. Okay. Tiger Woods is the GOAT, and he is the king of expectation management. Okay. He's had more off course PR work and practice than he has on course work with his golf game over the last 20 years. Okay. He definitely knows how to manage expectations. He's going to say all of these things just to get people comfortable with him, limping in, quite literally. Unfortunately, it's amazing that the guy can even walk, but this guy knows every nook and cranny of this golf course, every undulation, every green. He's won the jacket so many times. He's prepared. He's been this is what he builds his year around, outside of the PNC with his son, which is pretty awesome as well. But this guy is going to come out and probably shoot like a 69 on Thursday. And then he'll probably shoot somewhere around 70. So he'll be under par going into the weekend. And then he's going to electrify us. Will he win? I don't know. Will he make the cut? Absolutely.
Have you ever heard Tiger Woods say that anything besides "I am going to win this thing"? The fact that he is not saying that and that alone should tell you something. His right leg hurts. He probably has another girlfriend that he has to drop off at the airport on Saturday. He's got to get out of there. He's not going to do it. Look, and I love him. I love him.
Something really interesting that just broke. They just did the tee times for all of the groups. They've basically put every live guy, Phil Mickelson, Cameron Smith, Dustin Johnson. Phil's playing with Tom Hoge. Cam Smith's playing with Adam Scott. They've basically just made them the non-sexiest groupings ever. So, they get no TV time unless they're in it. But what I found really interesting, and I want to get everyone's thoughts on this, is Tiger Woods, going back to Giff's comment about playing and everything. Tiger Woods has the AM tee time tomorrow, but then he has the PM tee time on Friday. And Phil Mickelson has the PM tee time tomorrow and then the AM tee time on Friday. So do you think that Augusta National, being Augusta National, is doing that on purpose, or is it just the shuffle? Is that Tiger treatment? What do we think?
Oh, that's absolutely. There's no doubt in my mind. He's absolutely. They're absolutely shafting Phil and giving Tiger the benefit of the doubt on
and
that.
Phil's 52. Phil's 52.
Also, to support Giff, Tiger did have a quote today that he said that he was asked if he thought he could contend. He said, "If there's any place I can contend, it's here." Mm-hmm. Now, I do know people. I've been there. I know how hilly it is. I know people who were there last year who said that watching him walk, it was brutal. So it could go either way, but I'm kind of with Giff. I think the Cat's got a shot.
Rain, cool temperatures. I don't even think his leg is a real leg anymore. That's going to hurt.
So
right?
I was going to get to that. Yeah, it's going to be like an average temperature all 4 days, no higher. I think Thursday is going to be the nicest day, but it's going to be an incredibly wet Masters. The top 15 longest drivers of the golf ball are all favored to win. I think everybody in the world knows who those people are. But this Masters is very quickly, just based on forecast, immediately going to the longest drivers of the golf ball on the tour. I think those are immediately the favorite guys.
Yeah.
If they can roll that golf ball back before Thursday and get that rule implemented, I think they'll be okay. Now, listen. Look, Tiger Woods spent most of his career outside of golf training to be a Navy SEAL, okay, or whatever it was, Army Ranger. I don't know what it was. The guy's bionic. So the fact that he doesn't have a functioning leg and he can still swing a golf club and walk around, I just think he's going to grit his teeth and we're going to see some heroics. At least that's what I hope, and I think everyone else is hoping for that.
Well, and the last time the weather was bad, it was Zach Johnson, Tiger Woods, and low scoring, like not taking it deep. Difficult conditions, like 6, 7 under, probably favors him versus if they're taking it like 14, 15, 16 deep, right?
I think that, to use a Formula One Drive to Survive expression, we're in full wets. Full wets Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I think everyone has immediately written Cam Smith off because he loves it when it's firm and fast, which I think is a little too soon. But I think, again, Dustin Johnson, Jon Rahm, Rory, I think that it's going to be a powerhouse lineup come Sunday. I think it's going to be some of the biggest names on tour.
Dane, you seem to be the one guy. Why don't you give us the final thought on Tiger there?
Yeah, so I'm just going to have to disagree, and I'm going to have to do so disrespectfully. I'm actually not even going to give you guys the respectful disagreement on that. Look, guys, I love Tiger Woods. Let's be realistic about this, though. He hasn't been playing that often, hasn't been playing that well. I don't think his body's going to hold up. That's going to be it's a mental and a physical grueling experience for him, and I think he's thinking about the next thing, right? The fact that he says, this is my best chance to compete. I've never heard Tiger Woods say anything like that ever. He always says, I am coming to win. I don't care who there is in this field, and I'm going to win. And he hasn't said anything like that. So until you give me that, I don't have the confidence if he doesn't have it.
It's a great point because I think that some level of doubt has finally broken through. Giff, you mentioned the Navy SEAL stuff. I think we know now he never would have gotten through Bud's training. It's his mental strength is definitely cracking. He is finally giving into the physical part of golf. He's 47. He feels it. He's old. He hasn't said that. I agree with Dane. I'm on Dane's side. I agree.
Bam Bam. He's just becoming a normal human being. We've never seen a normal human being out of this guy, and he's just becoming a normal human.
It's weird. It's very weird to see him be 47 and old and normal. It's very strange. It's not something I'm used to.
Soon.
It's
too
weird.
soon for me. Too soon to call it.
So final stake. Giff says makes the cut.
He makes the cut. Yes.
And contends. And contends, Giffy?
Yeah, absolutely. If he's making the cut, he's contending.
All right, Dane, you're out. Totally. Miscut, MC Hammer. Drew.
I'm with Dane. Miscut doesn't even come close. Total whiff. Doubles the first hole. Not even on TV. He's just the old guy who they trot out. Just get off the stage. You're done.
He's going to top 10. He's going to top 10 it. He's going to top 10 it this week. I'm ready with you. Give me top 10 Tiger Woods. Here it's I'm a believer.
It's always so interesting when the younger siblings are the wiser ones. It's nuts. It just usually
we
happens.
Didn't even plan that.
It is what it is.
Didn't even plan it.
Okay, so Drew mentioned it with the tee time stuff. I wasn't sure exactly how this was going to play out, but it's becoming pretty clear that despite the Brooks Rory random love session and them trying to downplay this thing as like the media made up this Live PGA beef. Most of the Live guys got shafted on the tee sheet. They're in not featured groups, and they're likely not going to be shown. They're not in contention. And then it was pretty obvious in the photo, if you've seen the photo from the Champions Dinner, that there was some guys standing on opposite sides of the room from each other. So I have two questions. I have two major questions. One that I think is really interesting: do the Live guys wear their team gear on Thursday? Because they haven't yet. Do they show up in the Live team gear? And two, do we start to see tensions rise as maybe some of the Live guys get in contention, some other stuff happens through the week? How do we think the Live PGA Tour stuff plays out? Giff, go ahead.
Giff,
Let me start out by saying that the media did not create the drama unless the media wrote Jay Monahan's letter to all the PGA Tour players. And I don't think they wrote, I think Jay wrote that. Okay, so, I mean, that thing got off to a bang from the beginning. Do they wear the team uniforms? Look, I'm not a Live hater. Am I a Live lover? I don't know. I mean, it's a startup. I think it's interesting. Do I care that they wear their uniforms? No, I think it's a dumb question, Coach Petch. And you're the moderator of this thing, so that's on you.
But here's the thing. But to defend the point, hold on. Let me defend the point about the jerseys really quickly. Is there's rumors that is how they're going to sell those franchises, is to increase merch sales. Where else to sell merch than to be wearing these things when you're walking the fairways of a god? I don't know. I thought it was interesting from the business side.
That's fair, but okay. Fair point. I don't think they're going to wear their team jerseys here. If they did, I would actually be surprised. I hope they sell a lot of merch and they make more money, because I don't think they got enough of a payout. Anyways, I do think that a Live Tour or many will be in contention on Sunday. And I think that will be amazing drama. And hopefully it will be a precursor to some sort of Ryder Cup style event between the PGA Tour and the Live guys sometime down the road. But these guys are just too good of players to not be in contention. I mean, look at what Brooksy did last week. Everyone says he did it on a Muni. I don't care. DJ is one of the best players in the world. We know that. Nothing changed except for, I don't know, 7 or 8 months have gone by. One of these guys or many are going to be in contention, and it's going to be amazing.
Yeah, so Cam Smith actually answered the team clothing Live gear thing. It's actually very interesting. Yesterday, he was the one and only person from Live interviewed by the media in the presser, and they asked him the exact same question about the jerseys. And he basically said that he brought 2 sets of clothes. He brought one set of clothes with the Live gear that he's required by his contract to wear, and then he brought a second pair of clothes. And I thought this was really interesting. He said it out loud at the press conference to put pressure on Augusta National. But now if Augusta National says, no, you can't wear your Live gear, then they look like the bad guy. So he was almost playing chess while ANGC was playing checkers. He basically said he brought another set of clothes, and he would wear that set of clothes with nothing on it if Augusta National told him that he can't wear his Live gear. But now he kind of forces their hand. It was brilliant. It was absolute beautiful display. Unbelievable. Cam Smith came out like a real winner there after the presser. In terms of the tee times, yes, the Live guys got completely screwed. And the dinner, I think my favorite part is they're all on the right. They're all on if you're looking at the photo, they're all just in the corner. Patrick Reed, they're all just deep in the corner. And then Dustin Johnson's just hanging out with Vijay Singh on the complete opposite side of the photo. That was my favorite part. So they won't get any TV time unless they are contending. They will get zero featured groups on ESPN Plus, no mention, no nothing, unless they are in contention. I agree.
Do you think, in your opinion, because according to the players, this Live PGA Tour beef was made up by the media? Do you believe it was media created, or do you think that there was an actual thing said between players? I
personally believe that the media sparked the fire to create a storyline, and then a lot of the players fell into it. But now that they're all at Augusta, it's very obvious that they are all buddies, and it's just golf, and they just don't care anymore. Like if you've ever met a golfer, they just don't care that much. They're all super chill.
Drano, what do you got? What do you think? What are your thoughts?
You guys know I'm the contrarian of the group. I really don't care who wears what out there, but one thing I would give a left arm to see is Patrick Reed in the final pairing on Sunday. Would absolutely love to see
with
that.
Rory,
Just
with Rory, with Rory.
if it was
Rory
Patrick
would
Reed,
crumble. Rory would crumble.
if Patrick Reed and Rory are in the final pairing of Sunday, I will watch this round naked and I will film it. For all of you to see. This will be one of the greatest Sundays of ever for me.
God, so true.
So, look, did the media spin this up? I mean, did the media send the lawsuit from Patrick Reed on Christmas Eve? Did the media throw the tea at Rory? Did the
allegedly through the I guess there's video, but he tossed it. It was a toss.
Yeah, did the media did the media digitally enhance the F-bomb out of Rory's mouth on the Full Swing episode when he was talking about Phil Mickelson? Guys, there's bad blood going on here. There's tension, and it's awesome. It's probably one of the most fun times in the golf sport, right? You have these kind of tensions in all other sports, and usually it's a pretty gentleman game. And gosh, I love it. This is awesome.
Then
There's a
why,
little bit of
Drano, why is Rory playing with Brooks if Rory has been viscerally the tip of the spear anti-live? Why is he playing a practice round?
I don't think Brooks has been the most docile of the live bunch that left. And I think that's an olive branch that Rory, as the future PGA, the head of the PGA, is extending to try to show that, hey, we're human beings and we're not just kind of butthurt children about this thing. Brooks has always been pretty chill about it. I don't think he's ever been part of any of the controversy. Once Rory plays around with Phil Mickelson and Patrick Reed, come talk to me.
All right.
Call me a cynic. Call me a cynic, but I'm thinking Phil Knight and that giant check that Nike writes might have a little bit to do with that little makeup sesh. I think money has a way of curing all evil.
Coach Petch, tell us your thoughts.
I would love to see the guys wear the uniforms. I think that it would be super, super interesting to seeing them because Augusta is so crazy about protecting their logos and their merch and all of that. But I think that it is absolutely ridiculous for players to contend that the media made this up. That's just not true. Players said things were done. There is a very real rift between them. And I think the Rory Brooks thing and a lot of their makeup stuff is a little bit surface to appease sponsors. And I think a lot of people in positions of power, they are all about kind of protecting their bag.
I guess it's just changed for me recently because the Masters, everything seems so good. They seem so chill. And you just, Drano kind of nailed it. You forget Patrick Reed is actively suing Tiger Woods and they're at a dinner together. How many people do you know who go to dinner together that are currently in a lawsuit? It's just the coverage is so chill and laid back. You forget these things. I wouldn't go to dinner with somebody who is suing me. So I got caught up.
Whoa. We have been around country clubs way too long to buy into that. Are you kidding me? You walk into your country club bar and the two guys are sitting there come on. That is classic golf stuff. Now, I think this is probably the wrong we started with Tiger. I think this is the wrong person to go to next, but I don't care. I'm running this show right now, so we're going to him because he's my favorite player of all time. And everybody's sleeping on him. He won the PGA 2 years ago. What are everyone's thoughts on Phil? Does he make the cut? What would a fourth green jacket mean? And does he have any chance at all? Do we even see him on TV? Dane, why don't you take a shot at it? Oh, please be gentle, guys. Come on.
Yeah, no, again, one of the greats here. I think he's out by about the seventh hole. And you might see him putt a ball that's still in motion like he did before. Again, love him, but I just see that happening, right? His checkbook is way better than his golf game right now.
That hurts. That hurts. Okay, but fair.
Hey,
Fair
it's-
gift.
I speak the truth.
Yeah, I got to take the same side as Drano here. I love Phil. There's no doubt that Phil is one of the greatest players of our generation over the last 20 years. The guy is a magician with a wedge. That usually serves its purpose around Augusta National. He just hasn't been playing well over the last since he won the PGA, and he is on the older side of the hill. So I just don't see him making the cut, even though I would want him to, and I'd love for him to win this event. I just don't think he has the juice to do it.
I'm genuinely, on a human being level, I'm genuinely concerned for Phil Mickelson's physical health. He looks so bad. I love Phil. I love Phil forever. I'm genuinely concerned. I don't want to say that he's sick. I don't want to speculate, but he looks terrible. He looks awful. His skin is a different color. He looks like, like a corpse. I genuinely forget his golf game. Is he okay? Is he all right? He looks horrible. He looks terrible. And I've watched every live event. The guy sucks. The guy is terrible. He's just not very good anymore. He's 52. He took the money. He'd be lucky if they even mentioned his name. They put him with Tom Hoge for God. Tom Hoge. If that's not the ultimate insult for poor Phil, here's Tom Hoge and some amateur no one's ever heard of. My thing is, Phil loves when it's about him. Obviously, it's not like he would, go and create another tour that was just about him or anything. But how quickly after the round does Phil just absolutely attack? Like he shoots 78 and he just goes full attack mode on Fred Ridley and just this place and that thing and this is and I don't and he just goes off. How quickly does that happen is what I want to know. We're all friends until Phil is like, oh, no one said my name. How quickly does that happen? That's what I want to know.
You're all a bunch of haters. Here's my case for Phil. He does this. He plays terrible. He did this. He won the PGA at 50 years old. He was playing horrible. He had missed like 7 straight cuts going in. If he gets a vibe at places he likes, he's usually somewhat. I mean, he's immensely talented. He's got a good wedge game. He knows we make the argument for Tiger. I mean, at least Phil has 2 functioning legs. He can walk the golf course. I'm always going to defend him. I'm always going to take his side, but I'm extremely biased. I hope that he has a chance. And
dude,
y'all are the word. That was rough to take. That was rough.
I probably weigh about the same as Phil, and we're probably about the same height before he drank coffee. I drink coffee. I don't look like that.
I don't know that we need to say any more on Phil. That was an evisceration of the poor guy. Y'all are haters.
Love Phil.
Just crush. All right. On to my next favorite person, Rory McIlroy. The all-time lock of the century. If you are looking to get after it this week, is Rory top 10 not winning. It is the best bet on the board. You absolutely should take it. He likely will be in one of the final 3 groups, possibly the final group. He will shoot 38 on the front. He'll shoot himself out just far enough out of the lead that they stop showing him. And then he will birdie 15, 16, and 18 and somehow end up with a top 4 finish. It is as crystal clear as it could possibly be. Lock it in. I will stake anything on it. It absolutely is happening. That is how his Masters will play out.
They asked him, I'll let Danny Giff go, but they asked him in the press conference, what of his greatest memories, and he pointed to the second place. That's your best memory? A second place?
I miss the days when Rory looked like an overweight chipmunk with his curly hair coming out of his hat. And I love the guy. I actually don't have a problem with him. He was just an awkward looking Scot that came out and just threw dimes out there and didn't care what anyone was thinking until he got onto the back 9 on the last day, obviously, at Augusta. And then we all know what happens. He did what I do sometimes, yanked a drive out of bounds. But the problem with Rory is he has gotten, a little bit commercial. He looks like just a brick house now, and just, kind of plays the part or whatever. I don't think he has it in him to go and win out there. I think you're exactly right, Petch, that he's going to be middle of the pack, have a great, Sunday back nine, and come back and make it into the top 10. Here is the only one thing I will say about Rory McIlroy. He tends to play much better when people kick dirt in his face, and he seems to have gotten a lot of bad press lately. Bad like press from the guys who maybe aren't even the press, like the live guys, because I know he's like the poster child right now. But because there are some guys who are out after him, he does seem to pull ahead. The one I remember was it the PGA or the US? I think it was the PGA when Ricky Fowler and Phil Mickelson were ahead of him and like bumping fists and all that kind of stuff, and Rory just like took it to a next level because someone kicked dirt in his face. So that is the only reason why I think that he could potentially turn it on here and go out and get a victory here because of all of this crap that's going on between him and Patrick Reed and Phil Mickelson and the whole live thing.
Yeah, look, I don't have a lot to say about Rory. I mean, his swing looks like Andrea Bocelli's voice sounds. We all know that he wins the first guy on the bus. It's always the biggest in a college football game. That's who he is. He's an imposing figure in the sport. He's apparently the mouthpiece now of the PGA Tour and all the players and all the sponsors and all the executives. He's the mouthpiece against the Live Tour. But I just think that even though he's in tip-top shape, his game is spot on right now. He's got the distance to win. He's certainly looped this course as much as anybody has. It's been 9 years since he's won a major, and I just don't think that he has the closing power to do it. I like the guy as a player. I know that other people on this podcast have other opinions about him. He's never personally hurt me. So I just don't think he's going to win this week. I think he makes the cut. I think a top 10 is definitely in the cards.
So I found an incredible stat about Rory. Okay, so of the 5 men, which more people have walked on the moon, of the 5 men who have won the career slam, one of them took more than 2 attempts to complete the career slam. It was Jack Nicklaus. So of Gene Saracen, Ben Hogan, Tiger Woods, Jack Nicklaus, Jack, and whoever I'm missing. Jack took the most attempts, 3.
Player,
do you guys know what it?
Wow, that is a serious stat pull from Bam Bam right there. That is impressive. That's impressive.
Do you guys know what attempt Rory's on to complete the career slam at Augusta? Do you guys know?
It's got to be like 7, 8,
9.
even.
9.
Yeah.
9. So I could take this in a million different directions, but he's not going to win a Masters. Tiger Woods gave him the nail in the coffin today in the media. Literally the kiss of death by telling everyone that he'll win multiple and he'll do it and blah, blah, blah. All these guys are best friends. They're playing practice rounds and dinners. I'm so sick of Tiger. I'm so sick of it. He's not going to win the career slam. He's not going to win this Masters. He will never win any Masters. Heard it here first. It's just statistically not going to happen. Too many good young players. And you heard it here first. You saw the stats. 5 of the greatest players of all time. It's not going to happen on his 9th attempt. I just think that it's going to be a classic Rory. He's going to play well. He'll shoot 73, 74 on Thursday. He'll fight to make the cut, and then he'll kind of be in the back of the pack and make it interesting. Top 15, top 20. He'll be on TV, but he's just not going to be around. And on Sunday, they'll interview him, and he'll say, oh, I should have competed more, or I should have played better, or I figured something out.
Hey, Bam Bam, I like the point of, if you look at that list of career slammers, the only modern player in the game who's done it, Tiger. I mean, Phil can't even do it, and Phil probably won't do it. I can't say for sure that he won't, but he's probably not going to do it. And for as good of a player as Phil is in this game, for him not to be on that list just makes it harder for any of these guys to get on the list, especially with the current competition and these youngsters coming in, not being afraid to win.
There's a bunch of hungry dudes out there, and when you're starting to see these guys in their early 30s, late 20s kind of fade because they've made so much money and they kind of Like, what's their motivation? They have more money than they'll ever spend in 5 lifetimes. On that note, we can move on from Rory. Yeah.
Pretty boring take on Rory, guys. About as boring as his game right now. So let's move on.
Yeah. Speaking of boring, sorry, he's a nice guy. I don't mean that in any kind of way, but he is definitely boring. We do probably have to talk about the betting favorite, Scotty Scheffler.
Nah, he's boring.
He's great.
He's very boring.
He's super nice guy, great golf game, but he's about as boring as it gets. There was a video today, I don't know if everybody saw it or not, where he flipped his lid on his coach during they were doing a putting drill, and he was like screaming at him, like pointing at him.
Yeah.
Seems pretty obvious, as if for a dude that's pretty chill usually, that he's maybe feeling the pressure of defending a little bit.
Easy. I think he's sick and tired of people giving him garbage about the food that he had. And when his coach did it, I think that was it. That was the final nail and the final straw. And he just flipped at him. Okay. I guess don't bring burgers to a Masters dinner. Look, this had nothing to do about golf. He got in a fight because he got reamed for bringing burgers and shrimp cocktails and whatever else he brought to that thing. By the way, I would have loved the dinner. Okay. I'm a simple man. You take me to a fast food restaurant, I'll be fine with it. But that's just something that you don't say to him while he's putting on the green. Let him go and enjoy his dinner. He's a great guy. He earned it. He can have Popeye's chicken if he wants there, and I'd be happy with it. Let him do it.
I got to tell you, I saw the menu, and it said Scotty style, which was French fries on top of the slider. I realized that he is getting eviscerated for his 8-year-old boy tasting food. But can't we all, on some level, just love the chicken tenders and the cookies and the burgers? Like, who doesn't love that stuff? Yes, he's getting crushed because he loves what, like, 8-year-old kids love. But, man, that menu looked so good. I would have been all over it. Scotty Scheffler's just an emotional wreck. Last year before he won, his wife had to like console him while he was crying in the shower. And he's just an emotional guy. I'll guarantee you his putting coach was like, your stroke looks terrible. And they started screaming at each other. He's a very emotional guy. There's so much pressure on him to win back-to-back. Nobody's done it since Tiger. It's not going to happen.
Can I make one promise to all of you? If I ever win the Masters, I am having Costco hot dogs at that dinner. And you've heard it.
I'm doing a buffet.
I promise you. The only thing there will be are Costco hot dogs, because sometimes you just want $1.50 hot dog. Like, let them have it.
I do an all-you-can-eat buffet. I don't care. It doesn't matter.
Golden Corral, something.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I talked to Scotty's caddy right after the incident. He stepped aside and gave me a call, even though cell phones aren't allowed at Augusta. And I was like, dude, what happened? And he was like, yeah, Scotty was sliding his feet out from under him on his putting stroke. So he was like, I made him keep his feet still. And he eviscerated me. So anyway, he's got that violent foot shuffle in his swing, and he was trying to implement that in his putting stroke. And the coach said, no way, shut it down really quickly. I think Scotty Scheffler is the best player in the world. And I think that it's very likely that he's going to win this event. And cry in the shower or not, the guy took it wire to wire last year, and he's going to do it again this year. I think between him and Koepka, those are my guys. Those are my front runners to win the Masters this year. And I just think just listen.
Hang on. Hold up.
Wow.
Not 1 month ago, we had a text chain going where the three of you bozos said that Jon Rahm is a better player than Scheffler, and I was the only one defending your boy.
There we go.
Scheffler.
Here we go.
So
here we go.
Don't come now and say that Scheffler is the best player in the world, like, you know, with a straight face here, because we all know you guys are Jon Rahm love fanboys.
I think you got 1-2. I think they're interchangeable, Dane. I do remember that we did say, and it was after Rahm like ripped off 3 wins in a row, that he's the best player in the world. But dude, it's 1A and 1B. I mean, what do you want me to say? At this event, I would take Scotty Scheffler. Number 1 in the world, yeah, maybe Rahm, Scheffler. I don't know. It's interchangeable for me. Those are the top 2 guys in the space right now. And I don't think it's a big argument.
I think that with the Champions Dinner, I think with the video coming out on the putting green, and with everyone talking about Scotty Scheffler back to back, it definitely seeps through. The greatest thing no one's talking about right now is Jon Rahm. No one's talking about Jon Rahm. He was sick. He lost in the Dell match play or whatever they call that now. He is kind of flying under the radar. He's exactly where he needs to be. I think Jon Rahm probably wins the 23 Masters, but it's really great for him because he's just going to go play around of golf tomorrow. No one's talking about Jon Rahm, and he's won 3 times this year. No one. Literally, we are the only podcast talking about Jon Rahm.
For the audience benefit, can I just read off the menu in case anyone hasn't read this or heard of it? Just super quickly here. Here was the menu. Cheeseburger sliders served Scotty style. I don't know what that is, and maybe I don't want
French fries. It's French fries.
Okay, gotcha. Firecracker shrimp with sweet Thai chili and sriracha mayo, tortilla soup with avocado, crispy blue tortilla strips, sour cream, cilantro, and lime, Texas ribeye steam or blackened redfish, family style mac and cheese, jalapeno creamed corn, fried Brussels sprouts, seasoned fries, warm chocolate chip skillet cookie with milk and cookies and cream, or cookies ice cream, milk and cookies ice cream.
I mean, I would eat all that stuff.
What's wrong with that?
It's a brutal menu.
Honestly, like name one thing that's wrong with that menu.
Nothing. It's just what an 8-year-old kid would eat.
The fact that when I was 13 and I dreamed of winning the Masters, that would have been the menu I picked, not as a 20-something man.
It's a 9-year-old birthday party menu. That's what's wrong.
Yes,
with
it. Yes.
Yeah. I'm not going to lie. I thought this was way more than we were going to get out of Scotty Scheffler. And I mean, that just shows you the talent on this podcast. We just got 10 minutes out of Scotty Scheffler. No one's doing that right now in the game. Nobody. All right. All right. Let's I'm going to rope the next couple people, and everyone can kind of take this at their will. I'm going to read off just the Vegas favorites, and everyone can kind of just pick and choose anyone that kind of strikes them as interesting here. But in order, we've already talked about Scheffler and Rory, who are the 2 favorites. They're pretty close. It's then Jon Rahm, Jordan Spieth, Patrick Cantlay, Tony Finau, Justin Thomas, Dustin Johnson, Xander Schauffele, Jason Day, Colin Morikawa, Cam Smith, Max Homa, Cameron Young.
I think if Patrick Cantlay wins the Masters, that would be probably the worst possible thing in imaginable golf. You can't have a more vanilla, boring. He's sponsored by DeWalt Power Tools. That would be worse than Scotty Scheffler. That would be worse than Scotty Scheffler winning back-to-back. That's my biggest take. Patrick Cantlay cannot be the face of golf. Sorry.
I'm not going to lie. When I read this yesterday, I thought it was a typo that Patrick Cantlay was number 6. I couldn't believe that. That was my take on Patrick Cantlay. Like, how is he that high? Drano, what person on that list kind of stands out to you?
The one who I think, and obviously Scotty Scheffler is the one that everyone's going to say, and I'm a contrarian, so I'm not going to go with that bet. The one that I'm leaning right now is Colin Morikawa, your ball striker, just gets around Augusta. Is just an awesome player. I think Colin is the one who's going to lead out and make history.
You have to be able to putt though, Drano.
I agree, but
he's a horrible putter.
No. I got you. I agree with that. I think the ball striking on a wet course and the slower greens is going to play to his advantage with the putter.
Hold on, Drano. You're on Colin Morikawa. Is it all surprising to you? Because it's all surprising to me that he's pretty far down there. I mean, he's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. He's like 14 on the list at this point. Is that at all? Like, I feel like that's low for him.
No, because he hasn't been at the top of his game lately. He did come. He played well at the Tournament of Champions. He's played all right on and off this year. I just think that this week sets up pretty nicely for him as the ball striker and wet course. He's just a steel trap mentally. Usually when he gets out there, nothing really. If he can get over allergies, yeah, that's a hit on him from that documentary. If any of you guys saw that, when he got off the plane and made some weird face and said allergies. Ew.
Pollen. Yeah.
Pollen.
No, here's the problem with him, Drano. It's going to be wet, soggy conditions. He's not going to have his dog there, and the dog has leather shoes that can't walk around on the grounds because leather gets really, when it gets wet, it deteriorates, it destroys. So he's not going to have his superpower there with him. And I just don't think, like you talk about, he does have 2 majors, but he folded in the Century earlier this year. He's not playing his best, admittedly. I just don't think that's the pick. To me, somebody like a Homa, who is descending right now, he has the length to win. He plots around the golf course the right way. His course management is insane. He's a great putter. He's an aim point guy. I just think somebody like that is a little bit of a dark horse, which is weird that we're calling him a dark horse just because he's becoming a household name on the PGA Tour, but he hasn't broken through with a major yet. And I think this could be his chance if it weren't for Scotty Scheffler or Jon Rahm.
So in just to finish off Morikawa, I'm on Data Golf. By the way, shout out Data Golf. His last 3 tournaments, he's losing strokes gained. I don't know if the people listening or watching care about strokes gained, but Collin Morikawa is literally losing half a stroke to the field in every single tournament that he plays on the greens putting. So he's absolutely atrocious. He'd be better off just putting with his 3-iron. And around the green, he's literally losing a stroke around the green. So maybe chip and putt Collin Morikawa and stop hitting driver and 8-iron. You do need to chip and putt. So I hate Collin Morikawa. Couldn't disagree more. I don't think you'll even see him on TV. I completely disagree with Trina.
This is going to be so fun then on Sunday to tell you I told you so here.
You got to be able to chip and putt at Augusta, I've heard.
Collin Morikawa has game.
He's losing. He's literally strokes to the field with the putter.
Dude, you're talking about the man like it's his 3rd round of golf. He's got 2 majors. He's young, hungry. The best point that's been made is about his dog not being there. One thing I will say is that the leather doesn't deteriorate when it gets wet. That's literally from an animal, and that's why it was made. But it will be tough without his dog there. I'm not saying he's not high maintenance. I am saying he's an assassin on a golf course. And when he gets going mentally, there is no one better.
Bam Bam.
I don't see
Bam
it.
Bam. I'm gonna throw this one to you just because I find this name interesting and we've posted about it a couple times. But tell me why I like Jason Day. Tell me why we should like Jason Day.
Oh, you already said it. You already said it. It's the data. Sorry, that was for Bam Bam. My bad.
No, Drano's going.
Let me go.
Give him the
Let me
rocket.
go.
Let him
Let me
run.
just say something
Let him
about
run.
Data Golf.
Let him rip.
Only 2 tour players have been better than Day over the past 3 months, according to Data Golf. They are Jon Rahm, or El Juan Rahm in his native tongue, and Scotty Scheffler. Yeah. That's why we should be having a close look at Jason Day this week. The man's back. For crying out loud, his entire life is centered around a golf course. His backyard is like a thing of beauty. It's a dream for anyone who's ever touched a golf club.
I think the biggest thing is Jason Day just beat Scotty Scheffler head-to-head in match play in Austin, and he's rounding into incredible form. But the problem is, today at the presser, they asked him if he could win the Masters, and he said no. So I don't know what to make of that.
Expectations.
Wait,
management.
really?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Well, that doesn't bode well for me. Jeez. Wow, I've been all in on him for like a month. I mean, my take on Day is like I've always been super pro. I've always liked Jason Day at Augusta, but his back and a long time ago thought he was real steep, didn't always love his golf swing. The move that he's got with Como now, his swing is awesome, and that putter and that wedge game around there is just such a weapon. Like he's probably, if it's not speed, he's probably the guy that putts those greens better than anybody in the world. And, maybe if Ricky Fowler was there, you'd pick Ricky, but those 3 guys roll the rock there. And I don't know, there's just certain guys that horses for courses, right? And I kind of think Day's got a very good shot.
His
I think he likes it,
green.
But then I hear that.
Scary.
Yeah, but then I hear that that doesn't make me feel great.
Well, listen,
yeah.
by the logic from Bam Bam, if he says, I don't think I can win this tournament, look, before this podcast started today, I would have told you that I would have had 0 good takes, but I'm on a freaking heater right now, dude. I've got the best takes of the 4. So, I mean, I think it's all relative. I think Jay Day has the mind to go win this tournament, and he's in pretty good form right now. I love the call out of him beating Scheffler. All of us were surprised by that. And
was awesome.
He's a good putter. So that can win around here.
He's okay. We're going to get to picks, but I'm going to.
Yeah, we'll get to picks in a minute. But this is completely off book. I didn't plan this at all. But tell me that this second group doesn't sound better than the first group. You ready for this? So the first group I read, here's the second group. Victor Hovland, Sungjae Im, Brooks Koepka, Sam Burns, Will Zalatoris, Hideki Matsuyama, Corey Connors, Matthew Fitzpatrick, Tommy Fleetwood, Shane Lowry, Terrell Hatton, Justin Rose. Tell me, wow. I mean, if you're picking groups, I don't know that I'm not picking the second group other than the first. Like, I like a lot of those guys this week. Am I crazy? Like, how do you guys think about that? Like, that second wave is not nothing. That's a stacked unit.
Well, I'll tease Victor Hovland for later, but I love that Victor Hovland, Sungjae Im. I mean, we're obviously, maybe the people don't know, but we're huge Sungjae Im guys. So I do love the Sungjae Im and Victor Hovland. Are they in the same group together? Did you say that?
Yeah, well, they're about the same odds. They're like 15, 16, 17 in terms of the favorites, according to the boys out in Las Vegas. Drano, what do you think about that? That top. If we're picking that top group versus this kind of second tier, how do you feel about it?
I mean, are you ready for me to get into my dark horse picks yet? Because you definitely said a name in there that we should be watching, and we have been watching. I think generally the Live Tour kind of split off has been great for these young players. It's given them a lot of confidence. They've had to step up in a meaningful way on the big stage, and they've developed their games right in front of us. And it's fun to watch all these young kids who are just getting better, right before our eyes. That is one of the major pros that I'm seeing here. And gosh, you just rattled off a bunch of names that we're all are becoming household names for us as well. Amazing talent out there. So yeah, it's tough to maybe a little bit of a boring take, nothing contrarian in this, but I would agree with you. I think that's a super, we should keep our eye on it for sure.
I think it goes to the thing that Uncle Gift said, where it was like, you're talking about guys that are hungry and maybe it's not that top tier dude that doesn't have the millions and millions, but those guys are good. Uncle G, what do you got? You like that second group?
I mean, I love the second group. The only problem with it is it doesn't contain the name of Scotty Scheffler or Jon Rahm. And unfortunately, I think it's a 2-horse race between them. Now, I did call Koepka earlier. Koepka's my live pick. I think that he has the firepower to go and win this thing, but I just think it's a 2-horse race, man.
I only have one other topic before we do get to the picks, and this is going to be the Charlie Hoffman Award. So for the people listening, the Charlie Hoffman Award is the gentleman that is going to lead the Masters on Thursday evening and challenge to miss the cut on Friday afternoon.
Also known as the Freddie Couples Award.
Yes. And then on Thursday night, after we have the leader, we will discuss whether or not we think that person's going to break 80 or not on the next day. I know that Bam Bam's got someone waiting in the wings. So Bam Bam, why don't you start us?
You guys, you're not even ready. You have no idea. I may say this. You may not even know who he is. Are you ready? My Charlie Hoffman Award winner for the leader on Thursday at Augusta National, who will, in dramatic fashion, miss the cut. Min Woo Lee. You heard it here first.
No.
Damn it!
No. No way.
You took my pick.
Yeah.
I had him. He was on my list.
Yeah.
0.
He led the Players Championship. He led the Players Championship.
No way. Absolutely not.
I
I'll
had
fight
to-
you on that one. I'll fight you on that one.
He's going to
Oh.
shoot 86 on Friday.
No way. Dude,
I had that too. Ah,
that kid
I
has
hate you so much.
That kid has
Oh,
so
yeah.
much confidence and so much game right now. I actually
Until he
think he
shoots
finishes top
85,
20.
Charlie.
Yeah, but Drano, yes, he has so much confidence. He has so much game, but like that's the whole thing of the Masters. Is it's like the biggest tournament in the world, and he's gonna defecate himself on the first tee on Friday with the lead. Like that's just what happens. Like it's the biggest tournament in the world.
No, dude.
I hope he's not wearing white pants on Friday.
The kid is a $145 soaking wet, and he hits his 3-iron stinger 290 or something. As far as a lot of those guys drive the ball, and that alone right there, that confidence that he has with that club is going to get him around the course pretty nicely. Do I think he wins the thing? No, I think he's too young and inexperienced, but he loves the spotlight, and I think he's going to be somewhere on that board come Sunday. Right? I think it's Kevin Na. Is my Charlie Hoffman award winner. And I think it's really just so that the groups behind him can finish on Saturday and Sunday. That is the main reason I'm saying that he's going to go low, bust, and then be out of there, man. The guy he takes about 20 minutes to, heaven forbid, if he loses a ball out there. Goodness gracious. I think he's the one. He's my guy.
Yeah. I definitely have one. I'm kind of mad at Bam Bam because I was going to say Freddie Couples because I thought this was the Charlie Hoffman Award. And then he was like, also known as Freddie Couples. That was my pick, dude. Because Freddie goes out and shoots like a 67 and gets everyone excited. He does this every year. But I won't go with him. I'm going to go with somebody else. First of all, it's my pick is not Spieth, but we haven't even talked about Jordan Spieth yet. The guy's won a bunch of majors. He putts well, like he does well at this course. I don't know why we haven't mentioned him, but for this particular Charlie Hoffman Award, I'm going to go with Hoagie. Okay, he's going to be playing with Phil Mickelson. I think he comes out with some heat tomorrow. He's not as long as the other big guys, but on Thursday, I don't think that's going to come into play as much. I think he fires off like a 67. And then on the next day, I think it kind of gets to his head. And he's a really good player, but I just think he's going to miss the cut. So I'm a big Hoagie fan. Maybe in future years, I'll pick him to finish top 10, maybe even win it. We'll see how he does. But I think that he's my Charlie Hoffman Award winner this year.
Bam Bam stole my pick. I also had Min Woo Lee, but I had a backup. And this one hurts me so much because I like him so much and I root for him. And after I saw him on Netflix use a brown moving box as his laundry basket, I'm like forever a fan. I really, really like him, but I think Thagala is a nominee. I think that he has the game. I think it's a special award. I think it's a very special award. I think you have to have the game to be able to go out and shoot a 65 on Thursday, but then you also have to like not be ready enough for the moment that you wake up on Friday and you're like, oh my God, I'm leaving the Masters. What planet am I on? And all of a sudden you get to the first tee, you're like, what is happening? So
that's a great
take. We are at the moment of truth. By the time the people are watching this will be the night before the Masters, and let's do let's go around the horn and we'll do our favorite to win. And Drano is just top right on my screen and he's been on fire. So we'll start with Drano.
Yeah. So again, I'm going down the list a little bit. I think that I know where all of you stand with this one. I think Colin Morikawa puts on the green jacket on Sunday. I think he's the one. I think he's going to lock in, assassin focus, and go and win a major. Go and win the Masters. Do you want me to give my dark horses as well?
Let's save the dark horses because they might be kind of funny. We might have some people to riff off of. So let's go Uncle G. Who you got as your favorite?
Yeah, it's a boring pick. That is Scotty Scheffler. I think he's going to repeat. He's just too sharp right now. And he has one under his belt. It's kind of like, Rory, I don't know if I dreamt this or if I heard him say this in a soundbite. He's like, because it's been 9 years since he's won a major. He's like, it feels like I'm trying to win my first one again, right? That's just not the case for some of these other guys. And the first one on that list is Scheffler. He knows how to win this tournament, and he's got the confidence. He's got the form. I think he's your winner.
That's almost like Giff coming out hot in the year 2000 and saying, "Guys, Tiger's going to win it." I just got a feeling. I've got a feeling that's going to win. Thanks for nothing, Uncle G.
Bam Bam.
So,
Bam Bam.
so I can pick the most likely person who I think is going to win it, or I can make something stupid up like Morikawa, who can't chip or putt, whose dog wears the little booties. No, I like his game. I think his 2 majors speak for themselves, but I just think he's not trending in the right direction. So,
Man,
let's talk
you're
on
gonna.
Sunday night.
I can't wait for you to eat that crow. It's gonna be awesome. Okay.
All right, Bam Bam, who you got?
All right, so we're a podcast. We're in the content world. My brain says Rahm, Scheffler, Rory are obvious, and they're off the board. So my favorite is Max Homa. Love Max Homa. Gotta ride him. Guy's amazing.
Fair.
He's already won, I think, twice this year. He's just steady Eddie. His short game is unbelievable. He's putting lights out. Big aim point guy. You know how I feel about aim point. I'm very pro aim point. They were giving those kids on drive, chip, and putt a hard time for doing aim point, and I didn't understand why they were giving them a hard time. Yeah, and we're big aim point guys. Big aim point guys.
No, I was just covering up your face. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, another easy spineless pick. Way to go, Bam Bam. You guys.
Yeah. I mean, I think we all agree Max Homa is a national treasure.
Hold on, Coach Pesh,
Yeah.
wait. I'm going to pacify Drano for a second. Erase my pick. I'm taking Larry Mize. And here's why. Here's why. Listen. Here's why. It's because I'm a contrarian and I want to look cool even though I know I'm wrong. Okay, go ahead.
Is Larry Mize playing in it?
I don't know. Larry Mize is going to fall into the river at Rays Creek on the bridge. What do you want me to say? He's going to trip over the little ledge on the river at Rays Creek, and Drano thinks that he's going to win.
Hey, guys, I'm calling it now. No one beats Jack Nicklaus's record this year. You heard it here. No one wins more majors this year.
No,
all right, so locking in Drano for Morikawa, Uncle G for Larry Mize, and
hey, can we just call him
Bam Bam for Homa?
Can we just call him Petch Mize for crying out loud?
There we go.
Fair enough.
Okay, who do you got?
If you thought that Drew's and Gifts were unoriginal, mine definitely is John Rahm. I don't think I need to explain it. I think it's
we're in the business, but we are in the
end this.
Walk away, Dame. Walk away, Drano.
I need to say this. We are in the business. We're in the business of entertaining the people. You guys are like trying to be safe and smart. You got to take a flyer for the people. Max Homa. Come on, book it.
That's not a flyer. That guy's playing out of his mind right now.
No, that's a dark
more
horse.
of a
That's a good
flyer
flyer
than Rahm.
That's a good pick. Max
I
Homa's
agree.
But we have dark horse picks for our dark horse. Like I'm taking John Rahm. John Rahm's going to win. I'm sorry.
Hold on. Wait. Stop. Everyone stop talking for a second. Drano, you're talking to Bam Bam about picking Max Homa, some guy who's never won a major, and you picked a guy with 2 majors. Like, get out of here with that stuff, dude. That's a good pick.
Hey, all I'm saying is we should call this the boring podcast because I think it's going to be more, descriptive of what we're saying here. Sorry, go ahead.
Okay.
All right. Okay, so dark.
Can you
okay.
tell them brothers? Hey, can you tell them brothers?
Yeah, seriously, we got a brother on brother here.
I wonder if the people watching can tell who's related to who.
All right, so I don't know if this is a contest and who's actually going to pick a dark horse or who's just going to be the most outrageous, but let's get into
No.
Let's get into dark horses, Drano.
Yeah,
Drano, come on,
So
you're the guy.
I actually have 2. Okay, the first one is Scotty Scheffler, and the second one is John Rahm. No, okay. All seriousness. There are two guys that I have been watching very closely and have been very impressed with, and like their game, especially this week at the Masters, at a wet course at the Masters. The first one is Sam Burns. When he drained that 30-foot putt to beat Scheffler at was it Colonial down in Dallas, whatever tournament that was just like amazing. Awesome. I also think he has a little bit of the confidence because he's Chef's best friend. So he's kind of like riding that coattail, and then he beats him at the WGC. Guys, not only did he beat him, he freaking stuck on 17 on that par 3. Like, that was so out of his mind the way he's playing right now. I like him as one of my dark horse picks. The other one I really like is Cam Young. I know that you're probably thinking like, yeah, you just watched the last tournament. Good job, the WGC or whatever, and those two guys did well. But what I like about Cam Young is he's got distance. He's got poise. He played lights out at St. Andrews in the Open last year when Cam Smith came back and won that thing. And I just think, you've got that confidence and that grit. He's got a long game, really good player. And so one of those two guys are my dark horse picks.
Sam Burns,
Uncle G?
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Uncle G, who you got?
Yeah, I'm going to go. I have no basis for this other than how he played in the PGA last year. And he really crapped the bed on the last hole. But I'm going to go with Mito Pereira. I think the guy.
I don't know I don't think he's in it.
No, he's there. He's there.
No, he's in it.
What are you doing, man? He's in it. Yeah, he's absolutely
Hey, would
in
you
it.
give me a chance?
Once again, I had him as my sleeper. Once again, I had him too. You guys are still the picks.
Okay, here's my point. One of the hosts of the podcast doesn't even know that he's in the tournament. So is that a dark enough horse for you, Dave? So Mito Pereira, his game is built for major championships. I know he defected over to the Live Tour. He sold out. He took the money. He quit practicing. Whatever anyone wants to say, all of that is untrue, other than he did go to Live. The guy has so much game. He reminds me of what Tiger used to say about John Daly. Like, John Daly has as much talent in his pinky as Tiger Woods has in his entire body. Tiger just outworked everybody and just had the strongest mind in the history of the sport, outside of Jack Nicklaus, and let's just call them a tie. But Mito Pereira's game is just so good, and he just kind of has a knack for stepping up in these big moments. Again, I know that his limitation is that he kind of lost the lead on the last hole at the PGA Championship, but for him to be in that position, that's a special, special talent. He's a great player. I like him making a run this year.
That's fair.
I had him on my list as well. Guys, just keep stealing my picks. Don't worry, I got an even better one. All right, Bam Bam, who you got?
I think it's really important with a dark horse that they're playing well. Like, going into the tournament, I really have no idea how Mito Pereira is playing. A lot of the Live guys, I'm just not sold on. Like, my heart wants to pick Cam Smith, but like, even Cam Smith's like, I don't know, I don't really play golf anymore. But my dark horse has to be Jason Day. You got to be playing well. He just beat the best player we've seen in a really long time, since Jon Rahm was the best player we had seen in a long time before him. So it's Jason Day. I'm going Jason Day, dark horse, book it.
Fair enough.
That's what you got.
Fair enough. Well, since you stole my first pick with Mito, but it's okay because I actually like my second pick even better.
Let me guess. Let me guess your second one, please. Can I guess?
Yeah, hit me.
Abraham Answer.
No.
Okay.
I wish you got it.
You should have just said yes.
I still can't believe that. Yeah, I should have. I still can't believe that he doesn't get picked more. I feel like he's been on the leaderboard at the Masters a lot over the last couple of years, but Sungjae Im. I know, like, we joke, like, we are big Sungjae Im, like, content guys. We love Sungjae. But, like, I actually think that he's, like, one of the best ball strikers in the world. And for whatever reason, I'm a big horses for courses guy, and he has been on the leaderboard at Augusta at least like 2 of the last 3 years. And I think that he's going to ball strike his way right back into contention and be there.
He's always on that leaderboard. You're right. He loves that place.
Think about the last couple of years. He's been on there every year, and it's just like he'll probably be there again. Like, and no one ever even mentions his name.
Yeah.
That adorable face in that green jacket. Oh my God. Can you imagine that?
Do we need to shut down the podcast? What's going on over there, Bam Bam?
Sanjay M in that green. He's going to look great.
Sexiest guy on the PGA Tour.
Oh man.
Hey,
Watch out, world.
Oh, God.
I've got one last one. I don't know if we have. Can I ask a question to the group, Coach Petch? Is that permissible?
Hit it. What do you got?
Rapid fire. You might not have a lot of context here, but we do know that the winner of the AM and the winner of the British AM both have an exemption into this tournament. So the winner of the U.S. Amateur was Sam Bennett. Is that his name?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Sorry. I've only seen him on TV one time, and it was during the AM.
A&M kid.
Yeah, Texas A&M kid, great player. We watched him in match play. He just steamrolled everybody. He did great. And then the winner of the British Amateur last year was, I don't know if this is pronounced right. I'm going to pretend it is. Aldrich Potgieter. Okay? He's a South African guy, and he played in the Open Championship, and now he's playing in the Masters. We'll take those two guys, the winner of the British Am, winner of the US Am. Which of those guys does better in this tournament? So who beats who head-to-head, and which one of them, if any, make the cut? Okay? Rapid fire. Bam, Bam, start. Go.
The guy from A&M has the ugliest golf swing I've ever seen in my entire life, so I'm picking the other one whose name I can't pronounce.
Okay, so you're going with Potgieter. All right. And will Potgieter make the cut?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Drano, go ahead.
Yes.
Look, I agree. I don't disagree that it's one of the worst golf swings I've seen, but it's compensated by the freaking club twirl. That thing twirled like 19 times when he spun it out of his hand like this. And I think just playing American courses, the American vibe, et cetera, I think it's going to set him up. Potgieter, that guy's going to be one of our best friends for sure going forward. You heard it here. You're our guy, Potgieter. If that's how you say your name. Just tell us how to pronounce your name. So
that's why I picked him.
I got it. I get it. But I'm not trying to scratch some kid's back and not be straight up with him. I think the other kid has a little bit more of the mental from what I know and see and plays the American courses a little bit different than playing one of those British, Isle courses. And so anyway, that's why I'm going to go with Bennett.
Coach Petch, who you got?
I can't say his name. I've never seen him swing a golf club. I know literally nothing about him, but I hate Sam Bennett's golf swing so much that I can't possibly pick him. So give me anyone else, and I will pick them. Reigning endorsement of Potgieter, but I'm picking him.
Okay.
Sign me up. Lock it in.
Okay, so listen. It sounds like we have an extremely uninformed cast here who has no idea about these two players, except for Sam Bennett. By the way, Sam, we know you're listening to this. We know you listen to us every week. You are a very good player. It's just your swing is unconventional, which that's okay. All right. We had Jim Furyk on the podcast last week, and it's water under the bridge. I'm going to go with Aldrich Potgieter. Okay. This guy is insane. He has so many wins. He plays in all these South African amateurs. He wins them by like 19 or 20 shots a time. It's true that we have been DMing him. He's a super cool guy. He told us that he plans to go pro. He's trying to make that happen this year. So he's going to forego college. I don't know how that works in South Africa or in the PGA Tour. I guess it's not like the NBA where you have to go to college for a year. You could just make it. I don't know. Coach Petch, you can teach us about that on the next podcast.
Did you just break news, by the way? Did you just break news on the first podcast?
You heard it here first. This guy is going to go pro, and I think he's going to make the cut this weekend. So on Friday, let's talk. But I think Potgieter, he did tell me on our DMs that he has done a few practice rounds at Augusta. He said he played it well. He's learning the breaks. He's playing it with some of his South African friends in the practice rounds. And I just think he has a bright future, but it's going to start now. Household name after this event, making the cut. Low-am.
I have one question for you. I have one question for you. Have you seen him swing a golf club?
Yeah, so I do have some. I have some data there. I've been on YouTube. I've been down the rabbit hole. I've also known
Okay.
that Potgieter is a very common name in South Africa. As I was searching him out, there are a lot of female players that are amateurs named Potgieter. I don't know if they're his
Like
cousins
Smith.
or second cousins. I'm not sure, but I have seen him swing a golf club. He's built like a rock. He has a good swing. He's power. He's got finesse. He's got the whole package. He's going to be a good player.